It was the rain, you see, just the rain, pouring down, relentless, washing the world gray, and there she was, standing outside the cafe, utterly still. Lost. Invisible, like a rare, bruised thing left out in the storm. No one else saw her, not really. They hurried past, heads down, umbrellas up, but I saw her. I had my umbrella, violet, my mother's favorite color. She always said violet was for things that were rare, beautiful, and a little bit bruised. I walked over, held it out, didn't say a word at first, just offered the color against the gray. She looked up, and she smiled. That was it. The world tilted. The rain stopped mattering. In that instant I knew. Absolutely, undeniably knew. She was the one. Her name was Eva. She told me later, under the shelter of the violet. We talked. I listened, really listened. I absorbed every word, every hesitant laugh, every flicker in her eyes. It felt right, like two pieces finally clicking into place. I started leaving things, small tokens, a book I thought she'd like, her favorite tea blend. I remembered her mentioning it. A note, just a few words. Nothing much, just reminders that I saw her, that I remembered. She smiled when she found them. A shy smile sometimes a brighter one. I took it as confirmation, of course. Why wouldn't she smile? We fit. We were perfect. It was obvious. Then she started to pull away, just a little at first. A missed call, a shorter conversation. She said she needed space, said things were moving too fast. Too fast? For destiny? For two souls finally finding each other? That wasn't the reason. It couldn't be. She was scared. That was it. Scared of how powerful this was. Scared of the intensity. She was afraid of the depth of it, of the way we just were. It wasn't her, it was them, the people around her, whispering, filling her head with doubts. Her sister, always looking at me strangely, her coworker, too friendly, too interested. They were poisoning her against me, telling her I was too much, telling her this wasn't real. They didn't understand, they couldn't. This wasn't just a relationship, it was inevitable. The gifts weren't enough anymore. I needed to know she was okay, needed to know they weren't hurting her. So I watched, from a distance at first, just to make sure she was safe. It wasn't stalking, not really. It was observation, necessary observation, to understand, to protect, to ensure the connection wasn't being severed by outside interference. I had to see her, had to know. The watching wasn't enough either. The distance felt wrong, like being separated by glass. I needed to be closer, needed to remind her, to make her remember what we had, what we were. I knew what would do it. Our song, the one that played that first night we really talked. And food, something comforting, something familiar. Lemon pasta, white wine, simple, perfect. I went to her apartment. The door wasn't locked. A sign, another sign that this was meant to be. I made the pasta, poured the wine, put on the music. I set the table for two. Everything had to be perfect, just like us. I waited. My heart wasn't pounding. It was humming with certainty, with anticipation. She would walk in. She would see it all. The food, the music, me, and she would remember. Remember the rain. Remember the umbrella. Remember the feeling. She would smile that smile again, and everything would be right. She opened the door. She saw me. But she didn't smile. Her eyes went wide, not with recognition, not with love, with terror, pure, unadulterated fear. She looked at me like I was a stranger, a threat. I tried to explain, tried to tell her about the rain, the umbrella, the connection, about how they were trying to keep us apart. How this was the only way, to break through the noise, to make her see. But the words didn't seem to reach her. She just backed away, shaking her head. She didn't see me, not the real me, not the man who saw her when no one else did. She saw a stranger. Then the sirens, loud, cutting through the music. The police came. They didn't listen, not to me. They listened to her fear, to her story. They said I was stalking, trespassing, harassment. Harassment? How could it be harassment? I left her gifts. I watched out for her. I made her dinner. That's not harassment. That's devotion. That's love. They didn't understand. None of them did. 38 days, in a box, away from the world, away from her. They told me she was scared, that she felt threatened. She was lying, or she was confused. They twisted her words, made her believe things that weren't true. She wouldn't do that, not Eva, not the woman who smiled at me in the rain. The papers came, legal documents, orders, stay away, no contact. They think paper can break a connection like ours. They think ink on a page is stronger than destiny. They're fools. Love isn't temporary. It doesn't fade because someone signs a paper. It's permanent. It's etched into your soul. It's a color that can't be washed away. I still have it. The umbrella, the violet one. I polished the handle, folded it carefully, wrapped it in plain paper. I mailed it to her. No note this time. It didn't need one. It's a reminder, a silent promise. It's the color that started everything, the color that connects us. She needs me. She just doesn't know it yet. They clouded her mind. I'm the only one who sees her, the only one who understands, the only one who can make her happy. They can put up walls, they can draw lines, they can write their papers. It doesn't matter. The color is still there, waiting. Sometimes you have to bring the color back yourself, even if it leaves a mark, even if it leaves a bruise.